Welcome back to the channel. I hope you enjoy. My older sister called me. She's been missing for almost a decade. By spooky streets. My older sister Jenny was the golden child. She was beautiful, popular, and had good grades. As I grew older, I began to accept that she was always going to be better than me. That didn't change how jealous I became. Even though I was cold to her, she always greeted me with a warm smile each time she saw me. By the time she was 25, she had already married and had 2 wonderful children. At Thanksgiving, everyone's eyes were on her, never me. We lived in a small town. Everyone knew each other. That's when it came to us as a surprise when we learned that Jenny went missing without a trace. The family was grieving. Her old house became a memorial site. After years of looking, everyone gave up. I missed her sweet smile and her strawberry blonde hair. I even missed all the jealousy I felt when everyone would praise her every Christmas. Just a year ago, I was watching one of her favorite shows as my dog, Penny, sat next to me when I heard my phone ring. An unknown number? I thought out loud. Then held the phone to my ear. Jane? Jane? Hello? Please help me, the voice pleaded. You aren't my sister, I replied, shocked. I hung up in fear. That was not Jenny. I almost completely forgot about the strange occurrence when a few days later I got a call from the same number while I was preparing soup. Jane, I've missed you. Come help me, the voice cried. How did you get my number? Leave me alone, I demanded, hanging up. I sat on my couch, tears running down my cheeks. That was not my beloved sister. About a week after, I left a bouquet of colorful flowers at Jenny's memorial site. It only took a few minutes before my phone began ringing. What do you want? Quit calling me, I boomed. Jane, I'm inside. Come help me. The voice was more clear. I hung up in pure fear and confusion and ran to my car. That wasn't my sister. I killed her almost a decade ago. I don't know what came over me when I did. I had mixed emotions as I drove home. Suddenly I heard my phone ring. It was the same stupid number. What could you possibly want now? I already know you aren't my sister, okay? Leave me alone, I screamed. Come inside, the voice said calmly. I hung up quickly, rushing into my house. I opened the front door using my key. In front of me stood Jenny. Her hair was tangled and raggedy. Her white sundress was stained by dirt and mud. Her teeth were rotten and gross. And worst of all, she had the most evil look on her face. Jenny? I mumbled. I get it. You were jealous. But there was no need to hurt me, much less murder me. She stepped closer, backing me into the wall behind me. I treated you good. I had a husband and kids that I had to leave behind because of your bitterness. I fell to the cold carpet floor. I'm sorry. It was wrong, but I never got to finish. It was too late. Jenny began chasing me throughout the house. I ran as fast as I possibly could at the time until I reached a dead end. It's my turn, Jane, Jenny hissed. Then reaching, possibly to strangle me, when all of a sudden she froze. My Doberman stood behind her, blood dripping on the floor, staining the carpet. Jenny fell onto me as my blood-covered dog barked furiously. Good girl, I told her, gasping for air. I decided right then and there I was going to move far away and take Penny with me. I'm now living across the country, and if anyone is wondering, yes. Penny is alive and doing very well. The end. Forgiveness is just too hard. The hole in my heart has only grown since you left. 8 years you were in my life. How could you leave so suddenly? You knew I depended on you. You knew you were the only support I had, but you left me. Without even a goodbye. I thought our bond was stronger than that. Things have been difficult since you've been gone. There have been others along the way, and at first I thought they might be able to fill the void. But no one will ever replace you. I will never love anyone like I loved you. Now here we are, 6 years after you flipped my world upside down, and you decide you want to be part of my life again. You sent me a letter you couldn't even take the time to call me. But still, I couldn't stop the tears from rolling down my face as I read your words. I miss you. I want to see you. Please meet me at our favorite cafe tomorrow. I will be there at 11 a.m. I considered not showing, but my heart won the fight over my head. As I stare at you from across the table, my feelings are conflicted. How could I still love you after you abandoned me? But I know what I must do. You walk towards the bathroom, and when no one is looking, I slip the ricin in your coffee. I watch you sip until you finish, and tell you I've had enough. As I walk out of the cafe, I hear you beg for me to come back, just like I begged for you all those years ago. I don't look back. Goodbye, Mommy. The Forest by Horror Stories 101. I shouldn't have come here. I shouldn't have done it. Regret gnawed at my gut. No one had warned me it would be like this. A feeling of dread settled over me. My heart pounded as I bolted forward, stumbling as I slid down a jagged ledge. Panic gripped me, and I held my breath, terrified that the sound of my racing heart might betray my presence to that crazed woman. Amidst the eerie silence, chilling laughter broke out. An eerie female apparition floated past the ledge, her face a deathly white. You've entered this forest. You're one of us now, she uttered with deranged glee before disappearing into the mist. No, I whispered in disbelief, my voice barely audible as I tried to reject the nightmarish reality thrust upon me. Yes, it is, a chilling whisper slithered into my ear. Confused, I turned to the mound of dirt beside me, only to be met with the gaze of a deathly white face emerging from the ground. Panic seized me, and my legs refused to move. No, my legs couldn't move. They were rooted to the spot by ghostly hands emerging from the earth, grasping at my limbs, trying to drag me beneath. I fought to break free, my struggles in vain until I managed to wrench myself loose and scramble back in terror. With my heart racing, I fled blindly through the dense forest. Bursting through a thicket, I stumbled upon her again, the laughing woman. Her gaze was fixed on a lifeless body slumped against a tree. Dread washed over me in a chilling wave. The woman slowly turned, her laughter growing more piercing. With a crooked finger, she pointed directly at me, her message clear. A frigid grip took hold of my heart as I pleaded with whatever higher power might be listening. She began to float towards me, her laughter now echoing in my mind. I slowly lowered my gaze to my wrists, strained a deep red. They mirrored the crimson stains on the tree's trunk where the lifeless body slumped, a knife in one hand, its slit wrist sprawled at its side. You're one of us, the woman laughed. Regret clawed at my gut as I looked past the woman at the knife in the body's hand. No one had warned me it would be like this. I shouldn't have come here. I shouldn't have done it. The end. I found a cure for cancer. Pancreatic cancer runs rampant in my family. My father, his father's father, were all plagued with the disease. Not to mention the disturbing amount of my extended family members who developed it and died soon after. It has been heart-wrenching to watch my loved ones suffer in their last months of life. 2 years ago, my brother was diagnosed and died 6 months later. That one hit close to home. I have always been intelligent. For 6 years now, I've been working as a medical researcher, specializing in experimental medicine for pancreatic cancer treatment. The death of my brother sent me into a spiral, and I've been drowning myself in my research since. I eat and breathe it at this point. Last year, I made a breakthrough, combination therapy, my first real step forward, a conjunction of monoclonal antibodies, stem cell treatment, potent vitamin infusions, and targeted chemotherapy delivered directly and solely to the cancerous cells. In vitro studies were 100% effective. Finally, last week we analyzed the results from our first preliminary clinical trial. 87% of our participants were in total remission, free of cancer. My heart pounded thinking about the possibilities. With some tweaking, this had the potential to be a cure for all types of cancer. We submitted our research paper to a prestigious journal for approval. Not even an hour after the paper was released, I received a call. "Hello, Dr. Sanders. My name is Jacob Matthews. I am with the United States Department of Health and Human Services. We were sent your research paper submission. Myself and some of my colleagues are very interested in speaking with you about your research. We would love it if you came into our facility to speak." I was elated. It was the following day. I dressed in my best suit, ready to present my findings. Jacob met with me in the front of the building and led me through several doors to the back of the facility. "Right in here," he pointed. I entered. The door bolted shut behind me. My heart stopped. The room was filled with my colleagues, members of our research team, all the participants from our study, and even their family members. Their bodies stacked atop one another, each with a gunshot wound on the back of their heads. I felt the barrel of Jacob's gun press against my skull. "Thank you for bringing your research to our attention." He spoke with an eerie calmness. "Unfortunately, it will not be getting published." "Why?" I screamed. "Why would you do this?" "It's simple, really. Cancer is money." I heard him pull the trigger. Thanks for taking the time to listen to one of my videos. I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.